And welcome back to part 2 of our top games list, where we're going to do our top 5s. I don't even remember if I was going to say anything clever or not. Probably not. Go ahead, Jack.
Okay, my number 5
Oh wait,
is...
I can say something clever.
Okay, go for it.
But I missed part 1. Okay.
Oh. Click this link to go back to part 1, or just click the link in the description. Actually, I'll probably do that.
Or, just don't click the part 2 videos first.
Yeah.
You
Don't
dingus.
Don't be an idiot.
You
Anyway.
dingus.
My number 5 is Nier Automata. Yay, Lennon, you were one spot off.
No, I got it right.
For Justin.
It's still number 6. No, it's still number 6. You can say whatever the fuck you want. You can
Lennon,
say whatever the fuck you want. Nier is part 6.
Okay, we'll say that the original Nier that came out in 2009 is number 6. How about
I'll
that?
take it. I'll take it.
Okay. Nier Automata is the sequel. Well, not sequel is a very loose term. It's because neither game have like pretty much anything to do with each other. But Nier Automata is a game. I almost said the game that came out this year. Again.
Good job.
I stopped myself. Nier Automata is a game developed by Platinum Games and published by Square Enix. And guess what? It's a good game.
Yeah, Square Enix actually publishes good games. I'm actually quite surprised at that.
So this game, like Justin said, is most of the time it's a pretty standard like Platinum Games type game where it's like a open world is kind of a strong word actually, although it technically could be considered that. It's very small open world, but nonetheless, it's an 3D hack and slash action game slash 2D shooter slash dual stick shooter slash what the fuck simulator. It's a very unique game, I'll say that. There's just a lot of like little things about the game that I really enjoy. Like the story is really good and interesting, and also what the fuck. I really like the characters, and the world that you like traverse is very unique, and like the whole backstory behind like shit that happened is also pretty cool. And it's like the more you get into it, the more interesting it gets. And also best booty simulator 2017. Cloud, can you confirm?
I can absolutely confirm.
Good, there we go. We got the Cloud booty seal of approval. Yeah, I think that's it.
Is that when we tattoo a cloud on someone's ass?
Oh no! just like what kind of cloud? And no, I'm not gonna get into that. My number 5 is Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which came out on the Switch just last month. Actually, it is from Monolith Soft, obviously. This is kind of awkward for me to be putting this here because I'm actually not like the big Xenoblade guy out of the 4 of us. But I really enjoyed it. The massive open world is really pretty. The character models are pretty nice. I mean, it's like pretty standard RPG or anime aesthetic. It's like you've played stuff like Tales games, like you have the style of the character models down. But I really like the characters. Speaking of which, there's an aspect of gameplay which the gameplay is pretty decent, the combat's pretty decent, but you get like there's like a gacha system where you like roll to get what are called blades, which pump up and give abilities to your main characters that they're attached to. It's a weird system, but I mean, there's waifus in there, and I can't say no to waifus. But no, the story's actually really interesting, I guess. It's about Rex, who is a salvager, and he awakens the Aegis, who is like a super, super powerful blade that did stuff in the past, and I'm not going to really delve deep into the story because I don't really feel like going down that well of things, but basically you have to travel to a destination because it's an RPG. The story's kind of basic, but it does a really good job with world building, and the character interactions flesh everything out. The music's really good. I said the gameplay was good. Yeah.
Oh.
No. I'm not really gonna get too far into it because it takes a lot of explaining. I'm just gonna say it's a really, really good game. I've spent quite a few dozens of hours on it so far. I haven't even finished it, but I'm getting pretty close. But very long, good RPG. There.
Oh, number 5 is Digimon World Next Order, because why not? I like Digimon. I actually particularly like this one simply because it's an actual sequel to the original Digimon World. A lot of people say they like Digimon World 3. All right, that's fine because two was kind of crap. But in my honest opinion, 1 has actually always been my favorite. I just like the fact that that's so drastically different from literally every game after. Because every other game is just treated like an RPG, whereas 1 was actually treated like an actual life simulator, which is what Next Order actually picks up on. Which is probably why they just started calling the games Digimon Story, because it wasn't really the same kind of game anymore. But, yeah, I like the game. It's very simplistic, because it's based on World, and it's, World wasn't really the biggest game of all time. But I like the system. I like the fact that you can have 2 Digimon, so now you can kind of go do 2 different evolutionary lines instead of just being stuck with 1 until it dies. But obviously, if raising is not your cup of tea, you're probably not going to like this game. You should probably just stick with the story series. But beyond that, I think it's a really good game. And that's that.
Okay, my number 5 is SteamWorld Dig 2 for the Switch. It's a game that came out in 2017.
What?
Shut up.
Never. You might remember a bajillion years ago that a game called SteamWorld Dig came out. And if you do, cool. It was originally a 3DS game that eventually made its way to every other platform under the sun. Minus, I think the Xbox, because, fuck that system.
Oh.
And it's like a Metroidvania style game, where you played as Rusty. There's a robot. You upgrade the robot as you go through. Beat up some, I don't know, black fungus at the end of the fucking, cavern or whatever. Well, guess what? Number 2, you play as Dot, who's a friend of Rusty, trying to find Rusty because he goes missing at the end of the first game. And the world's a lot bigger this time around. There's overworld that you can actually explore, not just the small little town. There's bits outside of the town that you could explore. It's a very large cavern, and this time around, multiple parts, lots of different areas to kind of go through. Everything kind of eventually, you can go through some cult hideout thing. And then there's an underground jungle from radiation. There's also the humans that eat toxic that you get to play around with for a little bit. The game overall,
Topical.
From the first one, it is. Overall, it's a lot better, I think, because it has a lot more going on for it in terms of upgrades. And I think the upgrades are handled a little bit better this time around because you can actually choose what upgrades you want in terms of, there's the standard, you get a gun now, and a jetpack, and shit like that. Those are fine and all, but then there's, boosts to there's, augments to your fucking shit, that you kind of collect gears, and then you throw your gears at whatever you want, and you can, rearrange those whenever you want. So the gameplay is a little bit more your own this time around, in terms of your customability. It's fun. Visually, looks great. Plays really good on the Switch. I don't know about other systems because I didn't play it on other systems. It's worth your time. Go buy it now, or forever rest in dirt.
What?
That's
You heard him.
Dig. It's a mining game. You dig underground.
I get it.
Yeah. Also, rest in dirt. They're dead. 6 feet under. Double joke. I just explained
Nice.
the joke.
Jack.
You can laugh now.
It's
On to our number 4s.
I did it. I
Yeah.
didn't do
You did
anything,
it.
actually. Don't worry
What
about
what did you do?
it. Ignore me.
It.
Ignore
Batman.
Princess.
Okay.
It.
My number 4 is It's a Hat in Time.
I knew it.
Hey guys, A Hat in Time was. God damn it! No, stop that.
God
It
damn
was
it.
a game that
There he
came
goes
out in
again.
2017.
Okay, so A Hat in Time is actually a game that I've been following for a long time. Like legitimately since like the fucking Kickstarter started back in like 2012. Another game that's like, took for fucking ever to come out, but goddamn, I just had so much fun with this game. Like this game is like like a love letter to like the GameCube era 3D platformers. Like Super Mario Sunshine is like specifically is its biggest inspiration. And it is just like seeping with charm. It is like
The fuck?
Charm.
okay. It's got charm up the wazoo, basically. It's
Charm.
never mind. Fuck, you made me lose my train of thought. I don't know, just like all of the levels in the game just feel super unique, and like the whole game just really feels like despite being like despite like wearing its influences on its sleeve, it very much feels like a unique experience. And like it's just like some of the level it's like you have World 1, an entire island populated by members of the mafia. You have World 2, where you make a movie in a world entirely populated by birds. And yeah, I mean, it's just like shit like that, and it's just really fucking like interesting and fun. And the game like controls and feels really fucking good. Like it's really difficult to describe, but like it has good game feel. Like in the sense that it's a 3D platformer that's inherently satisfying to move around and control. And it's on top of that, I haven't played the PC version, but the PC version does also have a very like expansive modding community. So there's like you can get like a lot of like extra levels and like other cool shit to do, just via playing it on PC.
30
so
seconds.
Yeah, fucking play A Hat in Time. It's $30. It's worth your money, and I love it.
Oh.
Also, I just want to say that this game raised $300,000 and did significantly better than Yooka-Laylee, which raised $2.5 million. So, I'm just saying.
All right. My number 4, yes, 4, is Sonic Mania. We've basically talked enough about Sonic Mania in our 1 hour long review. So I'm just going to summarize what I said there again. So this is going to be really quick. It's a love letter to the Genesis era Sonic games. The music's really good. The sprites and all the visuals are really, really nice. Controls really well. I mean, it's everything that you would want out of a follow-up to Sonic and Knuckles. And is not Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Yeah. Everybody else basically touched upon the rest of the stuff. It's Sonic Mania. It's good.
Oh.
That's all I have to say.
Are you sure?
Yeah, if anything else I've said, it's you guys have said, or it's in the review. I don't have to say anything else about Sonic Mania. It's a fucking good game.
Well,
I don't believe you.
my number 4 is also Sonic Mania. This is where I'd say my opinion, but I've already said that. So instead, just look at a picture of, I don't know.
Jack, here's where we can put 3 minutes of just voice clips of Justin's sound effects.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
god, that would take fucking eons to edit, but I'll see what I can do.
Well,
Justin, you weren't here, but just to say it real quick, fucking the other night we were like, when Justin's not here, we should just have like a log of like different sound effects you make and just plug them in. We'll just be like, isn't that right, Justin? And then we'll just have a sound effect of you going.
That's actually a very good impression.
But anyway, if you wanted my opinion of Sonic Mania, just have a picture of someone shoving their Pangenas inside Neptune's Zimbabwe, and that's basically how much I like the game.
I will do that actually,
Oh god.
but it will be
What?
censored with surprise censors. You'll see.
Oh, but yeah,
What?
that's my opinion of Sonic Mania.
What?
I consider that the highest praise for any game, even though this is only number 4.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, if you say so.
Hey man, it's accurate.
oh.
It's Sega.
Oh, it's already your turn again, Landon.
Wow, who would have thought that it would eventually come back to me? It always comes back to me.
Shut.
Always. My number 4 is a game made by a company
No way.
that put out a game this year in
No.
America.
No.
And by this year, I mean 2017 in America.
I don't know.
It is a game that features characters that do things.
Ooh, I know.
What?
It's Lexine's Quest.
Damn, he got it in one. So in Lexine's Quest, you take control of demons and like you enslave them to do your will, and then you like go to high school or something. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. And you try to romance other girls because you are Lexine, the female. Also, like there's a calendar system. Also, something about social links, and Igor's there from Persona.
Huh.
I think I was just playing Persona the entire time. I don't know why.
Wait a
It was a
minute.
real weird experience for Lexine's Quest.
I don't know.
this time
That sounded like Doki Doki Literature Club to me.
around. Oh, okay. So in Doki Doki Literature Club, you like so there's An, who is or Anne or Flannery, who has best hair. There's Vulgar Boy, who is very vulgar and says effing all the time. There's Crom from Fire Emblem. I don't know why he's there. It's kind of weird. Then there's other characters with other names, like your drug dealer or your gun dealer. Very important characters. And you can... Oh, and then there's that one fucking bitch that always asks for my goddamn money, and I just want her to fucking go away. But she just keeps asking for my fucking money, and, you know, it like, I earn it myself. I have to go to a fucking job. Why don't you get a fucking job? I know this technically your job is to fucking take my money, but I don't want... Also, the church girl. She's cool. Shogi girl. She's cool. I should probably say something very specific about this game as to why I like it and put it on my number 4, but I don't want to, because I'm going to let the other guys talk about it, because it's going to be on their list. Here soon, probably.
Spoilers.
All of them are idiots. All 3 of them.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and move on to our number...
No, I'm still talking about
But
it.
you said you were gonna...
Because
you
there's the
said...
penis monster.
Okay.
There's the penis monster. Cloud. Penis monster.
Alright, to be fair, I probably wasn't gonna bring him up, so...
Exactly, because you're an idiot.
No, I
That's
was
why.
just gonna forget.
Penis monsters. There's penis monsters everywhere. Everything has a penis. Why? Why does everything have a penis? Why? Atlas, why do you do this to me? There are very specific things I would like to say about the game, but we're probably going to review this game not too long from now, so I'm going to just say my thoughts for then. How's that? Boom.
Alright,
Done.
on to our
Oh, my-
top 3s. Jack, go ahead, take it away with your your number 3.
So my number 3 and my number 4, kind of linked together a little bit.
Ooh, Bubsy. Done.
No, Landon Bubsy was already on my list, you dipshit.
Damn it. Sonic Forces.
Damn it, he's right. Anyway, so Sonic Forces, but for real though, my number 3 and number 4 were two games that were very, 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 very equal in my eyes in terms of how much I enjoyed them, to a point where I literally had to flip a coin to decide which game went in which spot. So I'm going to talk about Sonic Forces now.
Good.
Sonic Forces is a game where you explore different regions of the world and you throw your hat at things to possess them.
Wait,
and also,
wait,
I think
wait,
you turn
wait,
into
wait,
a, and also,
wait,
hold
wait,
on.
Second.
I think you turn into a werehog at some point. I don't know. Wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
Sonic
Personally.
doesn't
This
wear a
isn't
hat.
This isn't Sonic Forces. This is Sonic Unleashed.
Oh,
Ah, shit. I gotta redo my whole list. This game came out 10 years ago.
I know. Why don't you use Super Mario Odyssey instead?
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good replacement. I'll do that. So Super
Yeah,
Mario
you use
Odyssey. I'm a fucking sucker for 3D Mario games. Like, I love all of them to somewhat varying extents. Sunshine. But
Is your favorite? That's weird.
no.
Okay.
But Odyssey is definitely no slouch when it comes to the quality of the 3D Mario games. I wouldn't say it's quite on par with Galaxy or Galaxy 2, but it's definitely up there, like, with some of my favorite Mario games, actually. It's very much, like, in terms of, like, the way you go about collecting the moons, it's very much open world. It's very, very freeform, I suppose. You can kind of just go whatever you want and collect them in whatever order you want. You really don't even have to, like, save like each region if you don't want to. You can just kind of like move on
let them die.
if you have enough moons to go on.
Burn.
Excuse me. One detraction. I mean, this game looks amazing, but one detraction I will say that the game has from it is that some levels in this game are just like slight, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Slight alterations to like regular Mario aesthetics. Like, you have grass world, desert world, ice world.
It's retreads.
Yeah, it retreads a teensy bit. It's not like New Super Mario Brothers too bad, but like it could definitely. I've seen like more interesting level aesthetics in other Mario games, but at the same time, I still had a really fun fucking time. And the game looks amazing, and it's really fun to control, and just like the amount of ways that you can not only like how it's not only freeform in the way that you can like traverse the world, but also how you can go about getting each moon. And really, I don't know. It's just it really feels like a game that like you just kind of play it the way however the fuck you want to. Although there are obvious like exceptions to that rule, but in a lot of cases that is the case. I don't know, I'm rambling at this point. Super Mario Odyssey is a good fucking game. Go play it, I guess. Yeah, I'm done.
All right, my number 3. This is where things get really good for me. My number 3 is Nier Automata. I'm gonna try and say the stuff that Jack and Justin did not say. We already know that I want my face buried in Tubi's booty, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the fact that the story is absolutely like awesome. Like the best way I can compare it is if you've watched the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion, that with more tolerable characters in a video game, and you basically essentially have the plot. And I loved Neon Genesis Evangelion, so the plot of Nier Automata appealed to me a lot. Gameplay-wise, it's really nice. I like the uniqueness that just it has. Justin mentioned it has multiple genres going on at the same time. On top of that, the different mechanics that the game pulls out, even if it's just once or twice, are really neat. I do like the chip system. That's how you get like different abilities. You can stack them and shit. The weapon system I didn't really bother too much with. I just kind of like, I was like, oh, this is a pretty weapon, and then I just kind of like grabbed it. But I love the combat, because the combat is basically Bayonetta or Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, as Justin pointed out. it's an action RPG, open world, quote unquote, as Jack mentioned. What was I gonna say that they didn't say?
I don't know. I can't read your mind.
Fuck! You were supposed to do this for me. No. Oh yeah, there's like certain little mechanics where like your heads-up display is actually basically like story like connected, where it's actually like part of your character, and like your character could basically like theoretically see the heads-up display that you can on your screen. So like sometimes the game will fuck with that, which is kind of cool the way that it handles it. There's multiple characters that all have like a special quirk about them, I guess you could say. My favorite is obviously 2B because of all reasons. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna give out spoilers with like the plot, but basically what Justin said, what Jack said, and then what I just kind of threw in there. Nier Automata was fantastic. I was left with feels. I cried. I clenched my controller really hard. I got really sad at times, but that's just because it had a really good story and good gameplay to boot. So yeah, Nier Automata.
Boot.
I didn't intend for that to happen.
Oh.
But anyway, that's it. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, I almost forgot what I was doing.
Telling us about your number 3.
My number 3 is The Boy Who Cried Wolfenstein. For the second time, apparently.
Kirk.
Well, if you know me, and you know how much I go on about Doom, you'll know that Wolfenstein is like part of the holy grail of shooters that none can surpass. And even though it's done by Machine Games, not id, like how Doom was, I don't know if I've said this before, but I do think that Machine Games is a worthy successor if Bethesda decides to go full retard and do something to id and make me hate them forever. But yeah, the only real difference is that Wolfenstein, I guess you could say you're more human, quote unquote. Basically, it's more Call of Duty-ish, but not quite, because this is actually a good game. Because you could still run around with dual-wielding rifles or dual-wielding shotguns and just going balls up the walls, you know, shit like that. Just like Doom. It's just, it focuses more on a more, like, human aspect that you do have to take cover sometimes if you're getting overwhelmed. You do have to reload your weapons for some bizarre reason. Apparently guns need to do that. But it's just as fast-paced as Doom. It's just a little slower because of the more human aspect of the fact that you're not a demon-slaying, somewhat psychopathic murderer. Blazkowicz is definitely more human than Doom guy is, especially since he actually talks. But yeah, other than that, you know, gameplay is still pretty much exactly like Doom. Really fast-paced, really chaotic, and you know, really fun. I enjoyed it immensely. That's why it's only number 3. Yeah, I know what I did.
You fucked up. That's what you did. You are fucked up. You are fucked up now.
Oh.
That's a quote. Don't worry about it. Anyway. Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia is a game that came out in 2017 in America. So I'm keeping that joke running now because it's dead and it's not funny anymore, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Anyway, Fire Emblem's like the last game to come out for the 3DS ever, if you ask anyone. I lost my train of thought and I fell asleep. Sorry. Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia is a remake of Fire Emblem Gaiden, which is what Cloud said in the last video. If you watched that, if you haven't, what the fuck are you still doing here? We told you you were an idiot at the beginning of the video. It's fun. I like some of the things they do in it. Namely, they added Mipha's turn wheel, which lets you like turn back time. And that way, if you done fuck up, you can undone fuck up. So you can re-fuck up. Or not fuck up. Your choice. Which it's a really nice mechanic. That way, people, you know, who sit there and want to have everyone live, don't have to, you know, keep resetting their system every single goddamn time. or play the quite inferior casual mode for casual gamers, because I'm not a casual. Huh. I'm better than them.
Oh.
I play on normal. Yeah.
Well, you
Anyway.
were definitely better than me because I played on casual. Rip me.
Rip.
It's
Rip Cloud.
It's okay.
2017 to 2017.
It's okay, guys. I played the hardest difficulty in Wolfenstein to make up for both of you.
Bullshit. You did, nerd.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Oh.
There's a lot of good characters in Fire Emblem, or Fire Emblem Gaiden Remake, as I will now call it for that one statement. There's like a lot of interesting characters. I like the characters in this game. They actually motivate me to want to learn more about them. And yeah, it's kind of like the gameplay is very satisfying. It is like very different from what we've had for other Fire Emblems, while still being another Fire Emblem, which is good because series fatigue is definitely something that can and probably would happen if they had just did another like Fire Emblem, like a normal Fire Emblem like they had. So there you go, Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia.
On to the number 2s, Jack.
Yeah. Number 2.
Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us your doo-doo, Jack.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
What's so funny about doo-doo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Doo-doos is a very serious thing.
Yeah. 12,000 people die from doo-doos every year. And
Ian,
you never know.
PUBG.
Yeah.
Jack's
and
number 2.
and you never know when we could have so many people die from doo-doo that we reach a point where almost all of human civilization is gone, and we just live in this big, empty, expansive world.
Oh, I get it. 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 Pick me. Pick me. Pick me. Pick
Yeah,
me. Please,
yes, Landon?
Please. I don't get it. I'm going to put my...
God damn it. The joke is Breath of the Wild. Is my number 2. Yay.
Oh, I missed.
Oh, you fucked up. All right. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is a fucking fucking awesome game. Yeah. That came out earlier this year for the Switch. That's a new console that came out this year, and also the Wii U. Although technically, the Switch is a failed system because the Switch version is just a port of the Wii U version.
Yeah,
So,
the Switch is full of nothing but ports, and ports suck.
The Switch is a failed system. Just remember that.
Alright, I'm gonna go play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on my Wii U now.
Do it.
Do it, pussy.
Anyway. So Breath of the Wild, we already talked about this like a lot in our review. So I'll try to keep it quick. It's a really fucking fun open world Zelda game where you can do whatever the fuck you want in any order you want, and there's just like so many options for like how to do things, and just like it's so much fun to just like fuck around with like physics and just the world around you, and just like defeat temples and like conquer like moblin camps rather. You know, you could, if you want to, you could like go straight to Ganon with a stick in your underwear and fucking fight him that way. I've seen people do it. But yeah, there really is like you can do like anything in any order you want, and it's the only weak spot I'll say the game has is the story is a little bit, you know. I do really enjoy like the backstory though, like involving the champions and like the cutscenes involving Zelda and all that. Those are, I really enjoy the world building and just information behind them. It's like it's exposition in an interesting way. But yeah, it's a really fucking fun game. If you haven't played it yet, you know, please do. I mean, I have friends who aren't even like fans of Zelda that say that they really enjoy this game, so you know, fucking go for it. Yeah. Zadler. Cloud's turn.
All right, my number 2 is a game that I'll admit I didn't expect to play this year. I was kind of pressured into it, so I guess you could say that I never saw it coming. I
don't get it.
My number 2 is Persona 5. Persona 5 is it was mentioned by Landon earlier. By Landon earlier in the video.
Wait, no, Cloud. That wasn't Persona 5. That was Doki Doki Literature
Ah,
Club.
damn it, you're right. I guess
AKA Lexine's Quest.
All right, I'm gonna talk about Persona 5 then, since people haven't heard about it. So Persona 5 is a game where you play as a person who's actually leading a group of people called the Phantom Thieves, and the Phantom Thieves go into an alternate reality called the Metaverse, and they steal the hearts of people who are doing really bad things to get them to stop doing those bad things. This story goes much, much deeper than that, but I'm not going to get into that. But the character interactions, the dialogue is incredibly well written. I was pretty invested in almost all the characters because of how well written they are. Visually, it's really nice. The shading and coloring is really nice. I like traveling around the city. The dungeons look really great. The music is fucking fantastic. I'm just gonna say that right now. The battle theme, I played 100 hours of this game and it didn't get old. It didn't get old after 100 hours. That's fucking impressive. The music in general though is just really good. There's so much you can do, especially later on in the game. You have like just so many options that are all available to you. Really, my only one small complaint is that the tutorial feels a little too extended because it kind of goes over basic stuff for an RPG before it gets into like the stuff that's really like specific to Persona itself or Shin Megami Tensei in general. But other than that, like fantastic story, fantastic characters, awesome music. Like it's everything that an RPG has to be in this day without changing what an RPG is. And just taking it and just fine-tuning it to the best of its ability and just being an incredible experience. And, I mean, I really can't say much else other than that. It's a masterfully made RPG. Persona 5. I never saw coming.
Oh. Well, I didn't get any of that, but my number 2 is Tales of Berseria. I bet you guys didn't see that coming. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. So, what got me to play this game? Well, my sister bought Tales of Berseria, and I looked at it, and I thought it was shit. So I decided, you know what? This game is better praised. I'll get this one instead, and this one was not shit. So, I like this one better. Go fuck yourself. Anyway. Berseria is an interesting one because it's about the only game that you actually play as technically the bad guys, which I already thought was more interesting because you know me. Goody two-shoe heroes are not really my thing. I kind of like playing someone who's a little bit more ambiguous. They don't necessarily have to be flat out evil, but they have to be something more than just good. And it basically, if I had to describe the main character, it's basically if Kampa from Neptunia was really fucking pissed. And like, some people say she goes on a bit too much about it. I say, fuck you. Like, spoilers for the game, but considering what happened to her, I think she has every right to be pissed off. Like, what the fuck? If you were in that position, I guarantee you wouldn't just walk away not feeling a damn thing. But yeah, the battle system is definitely a lot of fun. It takes some getting used to because they actually got rid of the TP system from the last game I played, which I think was Xillia, way back then. So that took some getting used to. But other than that, it's very fast-paced, very aggressive, and I honestly like that kind of gameplay. So I honestly think it's somewhat better than Xillia, but at the same time, I also think it's a bit equal because I really do like Xillia's fighting in that game. So yeah, Berseria. Maybe I'll go into more detail if we ever play that game. Who knows?
At this point, you wonder, Landon, what could possibly be your number 2? You didn't interrupt Jack when he said something about Breath of the Wild. You already said Persona 5. You already said Fire Emblem. What the fuck could your number 2 be? And you know what I say to that? I say, fuck your rules. I have green hair.
Oh,
I'm gonna use a remake and of a game I already played. And you know what? You know what you're gonna say to me? You're gonna say you can't do that. But I'm gonna say, fuck you. I'm a Metroid. Metroid is my number 2. Why? Because the new Metroid, fucking awesome. And it's enough of a different game that, you know what? I don't care. I don't fucking care.
I saw this coming, and you're a faggot.
You're a faggot. And
Honestly,
you came.
I ain't even mad.
If you're mad, then you can roll over under my number 5, because guess what? You're 6 feet under already.
Damn it.
I'm actually not mad, but I'm rather excited to hear what you have to say, so please tell us.
I'm going to ramble for about the next minute and a half, going on about nothing important, like I have been this entire time. So in the new Metroid, it's Metroid 2, but it's not Metroid 2. They changed the graphics. They gave you a counterattack where you can punch things with your gun hand. Weird. Anyway, it's basically, it's Metroid 2, but on the 3DS with a new splash of paint and a map system, and they rearranged some of the areas, and they improved the bosses, and it basically feels like, if Metroid 2 had come out after Super Metroid, because in a lot of ways it's similar to Super Metroid. It's fun. I legitimately had a good time playing this game, and it was nice to see a good 2D Metroid, which I hope to God that there's another fucking good 2D Metroid sometime within my life, which I doubt will ever happen. But you know what? I doubted this would ever happen. I always wanted it, and I got it. What can I say? Music was great. The visuals, I like how they really added to the background of the game to where it feels like all the environments are alive, and you can see sometimes creatures or things running around in the background. And it just feels like the world is complete. Exploring areas is fun. I do actually like the Phazon or whatever energy upgrades that they give, because it gives you a little bit more to do. It feels a little the one downside of this game is it feels like you get power-ups pretty quick. But when you look at the overall experience of the game, you do it kind of feels natural-ish, but it's just weird to get the spider ball power-ups so early in the game. It's that's the weirdest thing, is you get the spider ball pretty quick in the game. Other than that, the game's fantastic. Go buy a 3DS, go play this game. I don't care. I don't fucking care. If you already own a 3DS, go buy another 3DS, go buy this game, play it. Because this is what Metroid should be.
Alright. Last but not least, we're here, and it only took us 45 minutes this time to get to our number ones.
Wow.
I'm quite impressed with all of us. We managed to get, really concise with all of our games this year, but the time has come. Our number ones, starting with Jack. You may go.
All right, guys. You've been waiting for this. You probably already know what it is, but I'm going to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's my favorite letter of the alphabet?
F.
You failure.
No, not quite.
It's D. It's Doki Doki Literature Club. I knew it.
Oh, son of a bitch.
No, it's F for FIFA. FIFA 18.
Son of a bitch. And no, it's not. My favorite letter of the alphabet is P. And you know what game starts with the letter P? That's right. It's
Pringles?
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Fuck, I knew it. I knew it.
So
You fucking tool.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is a game where a group of high school students are out to reform Tokyo society. Troubled by the deception and hypocrisy all around them, these phantom thieves will steal into the hearts of people and confront the problem from the inside out. Wait a minute.
Literally just reading a
minute.
Wikipedia entry.
This isn't Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. This is
Destiny
anal
2.
sex.
Oh.
Anyway,
I'm sure to you it feels just as good.
for the record, I was
Destiny
reading the back
2.
of the box.
Destiny 2 and anal sex feel the same. And PlayerUnknown's
never mind.
Battlegrounds.
Never mind. Anyway, my fucking game of the year is Persona 5. So yeah, fucking Persona 5. I am like the Persona fan among the four of us. Like, we all played this game this year.
Gary.
But like, shut up, faggot. My fucking so this game I was super excited for. You know, Persona 4 came out like 2008. So like 9 years before this game did. And, you know, I was super excited, and, you know, it may have taken like this long to come out, but it was fucking worth the wait. Holy shit. This game in like all aspects is, I'm going to sound like a big loser explaining how much I love this game, but this game is absolutely phenomenal. I love all of the characters and like the development that each character goes through. I love the fucking style of this game. This game is like one of the most fucking like unique and stylized games that I've ever played. And I really think that like it has a style that's going to age well, like going into the future. It has like really nice looking cel shaded graphics. The dungeons are a huge step up from just the regular like dungeon crawly dungeons from the previous two games. Some people might disagree, you know, that's fine. The story, you know, it's not gonna win an Oscar, but you know, it's really fucking good for like a Persona game. Not to say that's like a low standard or anything, but I really enjoyed it. The voice acting is actually really good. The fucking music is like, it's the best fucking soundtrack that's come out this year. I really do love this game to a point where I would say that this is actually one of my top 10 games of all time. And I played both it and Persona. I replayed Persona 4 this year as well, and I'd say that they're like at least on par with each other. And I'm not sure if I would give it a perfect 10, but it's like really, really close. And I really, really fucking enjoyed this game. There was a day this year where I played the game for 17 hours in a single day. I only stopped for bathroom breaks because I was just like, I was so into it. I was just like, I can't stop playing. I just want to keep going.
That happened to me, but not like 17 hours.
It was actually like 17 hours across like a 24-hour period. But yes, that is.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, Persona 5. That's my game of the year. Bada bing, bada boom.
All right. My number one. You know, I'm sorry, Landon. You were right. I forgot to take the 0 out. It is Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah, fuck you.
Nah, I'm pulling your...
You can't fucking pull the wool over my eyes, Bubsy.
I'm pulling your leg. I told you guys that my number one game of the year was Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for Nintendo Switch.
In all caps.
In all caps. Has to be in all caps. It's a totally different game because of that, by the way. No, my number one game of the year is actually... ironically enough, I'll get into why this is kind of ironic after I mention it, but it's The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's ironic because Jack said that he has friends that are not really huge Zelda fans who ended up picking this game up and loving it. Guess who one of those people is? Me.
You faggot.
I'm actually probably arguably the one out of the four of us, just like with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 earlier. So I have a very ironic list in the grand scheme of things. That is not the big person out of the four of us that plays this game, but it is my number one. It's fantastic. I picked it up on launch day with the Switch. It, as Jack said, super open-ended. We reviewed this game, so like, I'm gonna try not to say too much more about it. We reviewed it. My thoughts are all there. It's just an incredibly well-crafted game. I honestly would call it a masterpiece by video game standards. Just, you get lost in that world. It's just an incredible world. and everything else has basically already been said, just about either in the review or, from Jack mentioning it earlier. So, I mean, it's The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Nothing more needs to be said.
Oh,
Game of the Year, 2017.
are you sure?
I'm sure. Yeah.
I question this.
Well,
Doubt.
well, tell me about your Game of the Year, Justin.
Well, before I finish off my list, I'd just like to say, for any of you wondering, why is there no Nintendo games on your list? And I say, because Justin hates Nintendo and he hopes they go bankrupt.
JK, he just doesn't have a Nintendo Switch yet, so.
Yeah, so giant chunk of games is pretty much just null and void for me because of that reason. Anyway, my number one is The Bedroom Prowler, a game about a bunch of teenage hipsters who steal dank memes from the metaverse so that way the internet remains unfunny.
I don't think a single one of us have actually just started talking about the game. Like, we all had something weird to say beforehand.
Wait.
What
Just
game?
go ahead.
Oh shit, that's not... Damn it. I was reading a page off of my Book of Maliciousness, which is basically a rewriting of everything I say, just in a more disgruntled nature. Anyway, mine is Persona 5, and because these yucks have probably already, talked about pretty much everything about the game without, including spoilers.
Go man, go man.
The only thing I can say about the game is that it gets, Game of the Year because it introduced two of my loves in, one instance, which is my waifu and a pineapple. Because,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
spoilers,
That part of the game.
But there's a place where pineapples grow, and that also is a place where she can show up if you have a high enough rating with her. And it just so happened that they were both in the same place at the same time, and I think my hand was on my dick the entire time.
I believe it.
I think I went out to go grab my personal pineapple to watch the scene with it. Anyway, if that hasn't creeped you out, congratulations. But yeah, I like Persona. It's good gameplay, good story. I actually didn't think I'd get as hooked as I was because I kind of dropped Persona 4 before it really started.
I guess you never saw that coming.
Shut the fuck up. I kind of dropped Persona 4 before it really started to open up because I'm an impatient fuck. So, gave this one a chance. Glad I did because it actually was pretty good. And I don't know. I kind of hope I get something else just as good next year. Well, obviously it's not going to be a Persona game, but hopefully game development. I wish I could talk. Game developers don't disappoint me next year. Anyway, yeah, that's it.
Mine's Breath of the Wild. I'm not going to say really too much about it because review. Basically, if I'm able to just play one game for the majority of 1 month, yeah, it's probably something that is good. I really couldn't think of anything else that really gave me an experience like it. There was some games that came close, but Breath of the Wild just kind of held in there. But there was also a ton of games this year that I did not get a chance to put enough time into, so there is also that problem. So, Breath of the Wild was a good game. Enjoyed it. Played the Wii U version because I'm not a pleb.
I am, though.
And now, and in this part of the video, we'd like to go over Landon's top 10 games that he didn't get to play enough of this year.
Okay. So this year, let's see. I'm gonna cut out this one.
I wasn't actually serious, but if you wanna go for it, then fuck it.
I have at least 10 games that I can go over. Here are 10 games that I wanted to play this year but didn't get to. Horizon Zero Dawn, Ever Oasis, Golf Story, Puyo Puyo Tetris, Ys 8, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Gravity Rush 2, Resident Evil 7, Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus, and The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel, or I fucked that up. Trails in the Sky, the third.
I don't know if anybody else wanted to say anything, but I just want to give a shout out to because they can't really qualify for the list. There's been a lot of good re-releases and director's cut and port/remakes. I mean, Landon put one on his list that qualified on the virtue of being such a heavily changed game. But I mean, there's also games like Fast RMX, which came out on the Switch, which is basically Fast Racing Neo. You had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You have a bunch of other games that were, just really good re-releases that came out this year, but I mean, they can't qualify for the list, but there was a lot of good ones there. Oh, Crash Insane Trilogy too. But just 2017 was a fantastic year for games.
For games specifically.
Just video games and
and nothing else.
Just tons and tons of great games, both new and re-release. So it's been a hell of a year. I don't know if anybody else has anything to say, but it's been great having you guys here. We've managed to finish it a lot quicker than we do on previous years. But we will see what happens next year. We'll look forward to our anticipated games list for games we're looking forward to over the course of the next year. And we'll see you this time around next year when we list off our top favorite games that we got to play over the course of the upcoming year. But let us know what your favorite games from last year are in the comments, Katie, because you're probably listening to this, and other viewers.
You're probably the only person listening to this.
But as always, thank you for joining us, and have yourself a wonderful night.